Hi, my name is Big Shetty. Are you taking an interest in the lifestyle of cigars? Well, you're in luck. This channel is to give you everything you need to know about enjoying the real lifestyle of cigars. Welcome. This is Smokes and Bats. So, it takes about 70 to 150 or 180 days, depending on the breed, to plant and harvest tobacco. But it takes almost 500 hands to age, better yet, to harvest, age, and then, of course, produce the end product, which, of course, is the cigars that we all have come to love and enjoy. But you get to wonder, why is this important? If you want to go into the lifestyle of cigars, or at least enjoying cigars, then the history of the cigars is very important to you. Products like Rocky Patel, which of course have Indian heritage, down to products, of course, like the knuckle sandwich, which of course, big shout out to the guy, Guy Fieri, the chef and multiple billionaire, who owns that particular brand. And their friends at Hold Cigars, Cigars Daily, and many others who have taken out time to introduce products like Macanudo cigars, the Olivier series, and a number of others, all with great heritage. Many don't even know that there are cigar nations in Africa, like Cameroon, for instance, or other nations beyond Nicaragua, Honduras, Spain, or even the fire-cured cigars from Italy. It is a very rich culture and a lifestyle in itself. So for the essence of knowing more about cigars, this channel will be dedicated to letting you know all the wonderful, fascinating things you want to know about the cigars that you come to love and enjoy. But before we dive into all the history and so much more, one of the best things to do while enjoying cigars is conversations. But one of the first things to actually mess up is getting the cigar prime and ready. So the cigar has been aged. It's been brought to the shop. You're there to purchase one. But one of the first things I would advise you not to do in a cigar shop is this. Horrible idea. First, because the entire wrapper is to make sure to preserve the cigar in a great shape. And it's not going to give you any of those flavors that you hope to maybe get or sense from the cigar before you take one. So the first thing you want to do is open the cigar. Bring it out of the wrapper, check the foot of the cigar, which is essentially where we're going to be lighting up, and of course, check the cap of the cigar. And before you do all of that, another mistake many people tend to make is removing the brand logo on it. No. All of these have been carefully binded with fluids from the various countries of origin to naturally come off when you smoke a little bit closer to the binder. So, with that in mind, let's get to knowing how best to cut our cigars. Over here, I've got the regular. This is, of course, a cigar cutter by Libinsk, and it's generally a circle cutter for your cigar. Now, it applies to a number of cigars by virtue of their ring gauge. And when I mean ring gauge, I mean the size in terms of width and in terms of length. For some cigars, a circle cut is fantastic. But for some, because of how the cap could easily come off on the binder, it is best to go with a V-cut. So, as we go on this journey, I'll be explaining all of those. But for this very wonderful, lovely Olivier Series O, which I'll be having this afternoon, I will go with the V-cutter real quick. So for some of this, they prefer the V-cut, which is nice and pristine. For someone like me, who is a bit of a heavy drawer, I like to go with the diamond cut, but I'll explain what that is about in a moment. Now, the essence behind the draws and the cut for cigars is to balance out how it burns. When you light up a cigar, you make sure not to draw too quickly, because oftentimes it would burn the cigar quickly, it will make the entire cigar hot, and it would give off a bitter aftertaste. So what most cigar connoisseurs or aficionados will tell you is to enjoy it a puff per minute. And while that is ongoing, you take out time to take a little drag every 2 minutes before you let it out. Remember, you do not inhale cigars. That makes them different from cigarettes, because this is totally all tobacco leaf, making the filler down to the binder and down to the wrapper that you see and hold. So you do not inhale cigars. rather you taste them. So you take a bit of a pull on a draw, hold it in your lips for about 3 to 4 seconds, and you let it out. And that's the fascinating thing about tasting cigars. But for this particular Olivia series, I will be going with a diamond cut. So all I need to do is double down on the V cut already, on a perpendicular line, and then apply my cut. Easy peasy. Another thing you want to note, of course, while enjoying your cigars is how to light a cigar. Oftentimes, due to habits from cigarettes and a few other activities people tend to do, a lot of us are kind of used to just torching the cigar with the lighter directly at it. For cigars, that is not the practice. You want to keep it at a sensible distance from the cigar and ensuring, of course, that you are not burning the cigar with a direct flame. I like to use a flare lighter, probably because, of course, the filler is made from butane that has no particular smell or taste and does not affect the cigar in return. So, at a very sensible distance, you get to touch the cigar around just a little bit, so it's not burning the cigar, it's just slightly toasting it. You can take breaks in between too. That way it primes it up a little bit better when you touch the cigar again. So you go in that particular motion while rolling it to make sure it is evenly around. You do not want to taste your cigar if it's not evenly, toasted. And there you have it. A beautiful piece of art ready for tasting. Shall we do the honors? Want to get rid of that first smoke by blowing out. I learned that from Mr. Davidoff, by the way, of Davidoff Cigars. Let's take it for the first draw. And that's it for today's episode on getting into cigars. Subsequent episodes, I'll tell you a little bit more about so many other journeys, so many other facets, and so many other angles I've been enjoying the wonderful world of cigars. Remember, it smokes in bands. Catch you next time.